With the rise of the video game industry and improvements in graphics, scripts, and voice acting, some video games have managed to touch us on an emotional level in the same way that movies or plays have. After playing alongside a character for hours and hours, it's hard not to get attached to them. But it's even harder when their time comes to an end. Welcome everybody to It's All Viral Nemo here, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 saddest video game character deaths. Since we're going to be talking about character deaths, we're obviously going to be discussing some major plot points, so I want to give everybody a quick spoiler alert. If you don't want to be spoiled for some of the games on this list, then I would recommend skipping the video. But for those of you that stayed, let's get into this top 10. We're running a $200 Amazon gift card giveaway for the entire month of August. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed, turn on your notifications, and leave a comment on why you want to win it with your Twitter handle attached. I will announce the winner at the end of the month on Twitter. Now, kicking off our list at the number 10 spot is the surprise death from the 2009 first-person shooter Modern Warfare 2. After enduring obstacle after obstacle, your character is injured and being hauled to the extraction point by Ghost, your squad mate throughout the game. Upon getting to the chopper, your leader, Shepard, betrays you, shooting your character and killing Ghost. But it's not even you that you're sad about, it's Ghost. Many Call of Duty fans agree that there was just something about Ghost that we loved. We never saw his face or learned anything about him, but he was always there for us and always fighting for you, and to see him betrayed and eliminated just broke your heart. On the upside, however, Ghost's death made killing Shepard at the end of the game even more satisfying. Now at the number 9 spot is Noble Team in Halo Reach. While the Halo faithful were torn upon Halo Reach's release due to how different it was compared to previous titles, it really is a great game with an emotional story. You play as Noble 6, a member of Team Noble, as they try to prevent the oncoming Covenant invasion that kickstarts the original Halo trilogy. As you progress through the story, your team gets picked off one by one, with each death getting even more emotional as you start to feel the weight of the situation and the overpowering strength of the Covenant forces. You fight on though until you're the only one still alive, and the game ends with you taking out as many Covenant as you can before being killed and your planet falls. While Reach may not be your favorite in the Halo series, it's definitely worth a spot on our list. At the number 8 spot is Ashley or Kaidan in Mass Effect. Much of what makes the Mass Effect game so great is the incredibly amount of choices and impact that these choices have on the outcome of the game itself. It seems like there's always a good path and a bad path, and sometimes with a neutral path in the middle. But there's one choice in the first Mass Effect game that none of us wanted to make. Near the end of the mission, you hear that the enemy has begun dropping bombs in an effort to wipe out your team. You are then told to either save Ashley or Kaidan, but without the clear knowledge of whoever you didn't save is going to die. Throughout the game, you definitely grow attached to your squad mates, which made this choice incredibly difficult. After saving whoever you chose to save, the bombs will detonate, killing whoever was left behind. Not only was it tough to see your mate go out in flames, but it was made even harder by the fact that they only died because you didn't save them. Now at the number 7 spot is Dom in Gears of War 3. A main focus in the Gears of War series is brothers till the end, with the main focus being Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago. Throughout the games, Dom is constantly on the lookout for his wife, who had gone missing from the start of the war. After you learn of her imprisonment in the second game, Marcus and Dom go behind enemy lines to try and rescue her, only to find her beaten, battered, and completely empty, leading Dom to make the harsh decision to put her out of her misery. From this point on, Dom's personality totally changes. He is no longer the upbeat, positive soldier that he once was. He becomes much more violent and hungry for revenge on those who took his wife from him. In Gears of War 3, Dom has had enough. During a key battle, Dom hijacks a truck and decides to save his squad and take his own life by driving it into a fuel tank, destroying the enemy forces and killing him instantly. Dom's transition is heartbreaking itself, but his death and Marcus's reaction are definitely worthy of a few tears. Now at the number 6 spot is probably one that I was most upset about, and that is the Joker in Batman Arkham City. Arguably one of the best superhero games ever made, Batman Arkham City was released in 2011 to rave reviews and countless perfect scores. As Batman ventures through Arkham City, a massive walled-off prison full of Gotham's deadliest minds, he comes face to face with the Joker and yet again is tasked with not only saving himself from the poison infesting in his body, but also the Clown Prince of crime. As as he too has been infected. But when you get to the end of the game and you found a cure, you encounter the Joker one last time, holding what will save him in your hands. After curing yourself though, the Joker pounces on you, causing Batman to drop the remaining vial of the cure on the ground, spoiling it and dooming the Joker to die just moments later. The death of Joker was a massive shock to the gaming world, including myself, as no one expected him to die. And if we're gonna be honest, many Batman fans shed a tear in honor of the greatest villains in the history of fiction. Now at the number 5 spot is Soap McTavish in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Throughout the Modern Warfare trilogy, we grew attached to the two main characters, Captain Price and Soap McTavish. They're some of the only characters who appear in every game, and playing through Soap's eyes for as long as we did really made us grow to feel like we were in his shoes fighting for our country. In Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty fans all had a moment of silence for the loss of Soap McTavish. During a pivotal moment in the campaign, Soap gets caught in an explosion and is greatly wounded. After bringing him inside and away from the battle, Soap dies of blood loss, sending Captain Price into rage before placing his M1911 on its chest and finishing the exchange between the two that had been going on for years. Both the death of the beloved character and the reaction from Price makes this scene a tearjerker to any Call of Duty fan. Now at the number 4 spot is Aerith in Final Fantasy VII. Known as one of the most shocking and unexpected character deaths in gaming history, our number 4 pick comes from the legendary RPG Final Fantasy VII. The last of the Cetra, an ancient race of magic-possessing beings, she is one of the main characters in Final Fantasy VII. However, at one point in the story, she and Cloud approach each other when Sephiroth, the game's antagonist, suddenly drops down and impales her, killing her without warning or even as much as a final word. She's just gone. While this death motivates Cloud to continue his fight against Sephiroth, the music, dialogue, and sheer surprise of Aerith's death has gone down in gaming history as one of the saddest and most unexpected ever. Now at the number 3 spot is John Marston in Red Dead Redemption. So with all the hype surrounding Red Dead Redemption 2, many fans are going back and revisiting the previous game. And we all know that heartbreaking ending. Red Dead Redemption is a story about, well, redemption. You play as a former outlaw who is tasked with hunting down the members of his former gang in order to gain amnesty from the state. After finding all the gangsters and bringing them down, the game jumps you forward to living peacefully on your ranch with your family when a gang of mysterious figures rise up. After sending your family off and away from harm, it's revealed that these men aren't done with you. And after taking out as many as you can, you are shot to death in front of your home, leaving your family to bury you and your son to grow red with desire for revenge. Many consider Red Dead Redemption to be one of the greatest games ever made, and this death is more deserving of our number 3 spot. Now at the number 2 spot is Shepard in Mass Effect 3. Okay, we all know the ending of Mass Effect 3 wasn't great. In fact, it wasn't even good. The ending of Mass Effect seriously ticked off a ton of gamers who were foiled with the promise of an amazing ending and were simply given a generic and uninteresting one. But there is one aspect of the ending that I think we can all agree was heartbreaking, and that is the death of Shepard. Sure, there are always ways to get Shepard to survive, and there's even a way to kill him in Mass Effect 2, but Mass Effect 3's death scene for Shepard is definitely a tough one for fans of the series. Given the sheer amount of hours and experiences they've had with him along the way, it was tough to see him go. And that's why we had to put Shepard at our number 3 spot on this list. Now last but very not least, at our number 1 spot is Lee in The Walking Dead Season 1. Perhaps the most emotional death in the history of gaming, we are closing our list today with Telltale's excellent telling of The Walking Dead. Throughout the game, you play as a man named Lee who is simply trying to survive a zombie apocalypse until you run into a girl named Clementine, who you become the protector of. Now you two have many tough encounters together, leading to many characters coming and going depending on the choices made by the player. But the most difficult going of them all was that of Lee himself. Near the end of the game, Lee is bitten by a walker. He tries to maintain composure for as long as he can for the sake of Clementine, but eventually it becomes too much for him to handle. The player then takes control of Clementine and is presented with an incredibly dark decision of either shooting Lee and putting him out of his misery, or walking away and letting him die naturally and reanimate as a walker. There is no saving Lee, and both of his potential deaths are equally heartbreaking. Telltale definitely has their way with our emotions, and without a doubt in my mind, Lee's death is easily one of the saddest video game deaths of all time. and that's why it takes our top spot on this list today. That's all for this video, guys. Let us know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Which one on this list were you most depressed about? And if we missed any, let us know down below as well. If you have any suggestions for future top 10s, there is a link in the description. Fill that out and it might be made into a video. If you want more top 10s like this, there is a playlist in the description as well. Do us a favor, guys, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your post notifications. You know the drill. All you have to do is click that bell, check that box, and you'll have every single It's All Viral at your fingertips as soon as they're uploaded. Thanks again, guys. This has been Nemo from It's All Viral, and I will talk to you guys on the next Top 10.